And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Anytime you're talking about fundamentals in a market and direction, fundamentals take a little bit of time to play out.
We got crude oil today, kind of trading yesterday's value area really nicely, low to high.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to the Market Recap. I am Dan Hodgman. It is Monday, November 29th. I hope you guys all had a good day. There was some opportunity here in some of these markets. For the most part, we actually found some opportunity across the board. Crude oil opens up this morning. We said that we got to take a look, right? We saw that pop pre-open, and we really needed to see an effort push towards that $73 mark if we're going to accept directional move to the upside. That did not happen. That market broke down into the $68 range. We are back above $69, trading $69.32. Fell short of closing the gap to settlement price. Remember, settlement price was down at $68.15. But really some good opportunity. The initial open pretty much told us exactly what to expect here today. That open did not make an attempt to move higher, rather looked to stay inside right off the open. That was really the chance, in my opinion. It dictated exactly what's going to happen. Then you just got to really focus on entering in that trade, managing your risk there, and taking your time and being cautious, looking for those opportunities. S&P 500 on the other side. We were looking at this morning, and what do we say? 46.40 thereabouts, give or take. Really had to show some movement through that price to establish higher directional move. Took all day, right around 11:30 here, 10:30, somewhere in that range. That market finally made an upward move. Did not finish gaining back all the losses from last week, but definitely worked its way up there. But the NASDAQ, on the other hand, opened up, took off to the upside, and just continued all the way to Friday's regular trade, or pre-open high. So Friday's losses in the NASDAQ completely recovered there. Gold, downside move all day long, really maintained trend that we started to see during the tail end of the London session off the U.S. Open here. That market continued and right through settles. Euro, on the other hand, pretty flat majority of the day. There's not a whole lot to write home about on that one. And then the 10-year note closed the gap to settlement price, and that was the move there. Things going on. We've got Omicron, or however you want to say it, seeming to lead us with a little less fear. Biden comes out and said there's no need for any sort of lockdowns just yet, so we'll keep an eye on that. That could change very quickly. We all know how that stuff can happen. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey is stepping down, sending Twitter stock extremely volatile here today. So if you have some Twitter, hopefully you guys were able to see some opportunity there. And he'll be replaced here shortly with the current CTO. That's what we got there. Now the big question is Friday. Friday is the deadline for the government shutdown. So does Congress kind of get something through here this week? That's going to be my question. I'm sure there's going to be something. But we'll, as the days dwindle down, it could lead to some sort of volatility in these markets. Like I said, we saw a strong pop here today, but we've got the new COVID variant out. Looming government shutdown around the corner. Does this variant really pick up steam? If so, do we see lockdowns or no more, shutdowns on international flights? There's going to be a lot of questions there. So let's just all be cautious here throughout this week. Don't marry your trades. Don't marry your bias. Things can change rather quickly across the board. So let's go ahead and take a look at our charts here and see where some of this opportunity was today. All right, as always, we start with our crude oil market. Crude oil, like we said, we opened up this morning, and we were talking right before open, and we wanted to see this market really start to trade up above 73. We needed to see off the open, new highs made, and direction move towards that $74 mark. 73 to 74 is what we were looking at. We needed to see acceptance inside 73. It did not accept. Now, rather, it didn't even make it up to $73. Rather, the market rotated back inside. So what do we say if we start to rotate inside? Where are we looking? Value high from yesterday down here at 71.18. Market broke through rather quickly and gave us a chance. We saw a little bit of strength in a downtrending market. Saw a little bit of strength. Market pops right to value high from Friday. Boom. This, to me, right here, is our great opportunity to rotate back inside and come check, uncheck, point of control right down here. Market did exactly that. That's what we were looking for this morning. So really a great chance, in my opinion, there. Next, let's go ahead and look at the S&P 500. S&P 500. So this morning we opened up and I said, look, we need to see trade inside this little channel here. I want to see the market move inside here. It didn't off the open. It did not whatsoever, rather rotated back inside right to our low side. What were we talking about this morning? 46.30. 46.30, I think, was the actual price that we talked about. Look to see this thing rotate. Excuse me. I was wrong. Looking at the wrong note there. 46.23 3/4. 46.23 3/4. If we could not make the move higher, look inside down to 23 3/4. Market comes down to 21 3/4. So really a good opportunity there. And that we're just looking at range. Overnight really defined the range nicely for us. Market staying inside, fade those extremes, great opportunity. Finally, we took off here towards the lunchtime. We moved through our channel. Now, this is where you may have gotten caught, myself included. I'm starting to see some trade up above the channel, but what I want to point out right here, notice how as we're making highs, we're starting to see our volume dip. Volume's coming down, market struggling to make new highs. Hey, we're not accepting up above. Those are some of the things that we really want to pay attention to. We got to keep an eye on volume. Is my volume continuing to come in on the directional move? Or are we starting to see really volume start to dry up? And as soon as we start to turn negative, volume starts to pick back up. So those are the key things in volume. If we start to see, if we're making directional move, when we start to see volume thinning, right? If we see this volume starting to thin, we've got to be quick to change. We've got to be quick. If we're in that long, we got to be quick to get out of it. We want to start to really recognize that. Oh, and by the way, we're not making new highs after new high. We're struggling to make new highs. That, to me, is where we got to say, hey, right now this market is not attracting buyers. Let's hold tight. Let's get out of the trade we're in, or let's hang tight before making any sort of execution. So market did struggle, rotated back in, but we're still maintaining trend here for the day to the upside. Next, let's go ahead and look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, strong one here today. We fell short of our check point of control all the way up here at 540, but really great opportunity. This market, on the other hand, opened up and rushed to make new highs, right? What does it tell us off that open? The market makes the directional move. Look for that move to continue throughout the rest of the day. Market did exactly that. We made a new high off the open, and we just continued to get little pullbacks off the open and just continued directional moves all the way up to pre-Thanksgiving high. All right, here we go. Let's look at our gold market. Like we said, gold was starting to make some move in the overnight session. Continued with that downward move. We moved through point of control, value low from Friday pretty quickly. And right where we were talking this morning, right? We were looking right at it. And we said, here's a great opportunity. We've got an opportunity for short to the downside, possibly go check Friday's low, or we're going to trade back inside and see if we can rotate this thing back to point of control. We were in trend. Market struggled to accept back inside Friday's value. Look for rejection. Market rejects, sends this market lower. That really was a great opportunity. Using value areas. I strongly suggest and stress that if you're not putting values into your charts, start looking at them. Start using them. They really create and present some great opportunity there. Next, the euro. Like I said, euro is rather choppy all day long. We said it this morning. We're in a channel. We're in range. We were on our low side of the range. The last thing I said was we're not looking to sell on lows. We need to see some strength before we sell that. And we really never found that strength. We started to kind of get to the high side. Remember, if we start to look at our channel here, right? So if we get to the high side of channel, we were on the low. We need to see it get to the high. High finally presents here towards the end of the day. This would be the first chance, in my opinion, that really is eligible for a short. We opened up on the low, right near the swing low from last night. Really great opportunity off this equity open here today. Little volatile, kind of all over the place, a little bit choppy, but if you're able to hold through, you've got that long rotating back towards the high side of channel. And lastly, let's take a look at our 10-year note. Like we said, 10-year note. We saw the channel this morning. We were trading inside of it. We were open when we talked this morning. We were right near an opportunity, possibly for a short on the high side of channel, rotating back to low side. Never made it down to the low side. Rather, it finally broke out of this overnight channel, took off to settlement price. We checked settlement price, rejected it once, and we're right back up there again. So really closed that gap here to settlement price as we saw yield rather quiet on the yield front. All right, those are our markets here today. Hopefully you guys found some opportunity out there. Jorg, good to see you. Vince, Mo, Dr. VJ, PD, PK, Jerry, Dan, ESNQ settlement gaps in both directions still remain, right? Well, gaps to settlement, that day's over. We got new settlement prices coming in. You can always kind of look back at them, but I really move on from settlement to the next day, right? Because all P&Ls that were inputted at that settlement price last Friday, they've reset here today with today's settlement price. So we're getting the whole new settles coming in here today. So it's all going to kind of reset for everyone that they're looking at them. So they're not really looking back to Fridays. They're going to start looking at today's settlement price. Settlement really does roll every single day because that's where the position traders are looking at their P&Ls. They're not rolling it back to last Friday. The positions that they're in today are going to be cash-based settlement price today, or P&Ls are run to today's settlement price. All right, so let's take a look at some of our stocks. Really no information on this date in history, rather quiet there. Bitcoin makes a pop to the upside, $58,605 a coin there. Airbnb holding strong, $180.08. AMC down a little bit here today, $36.84. GameStop, over $200, $202.01. Tesla, man, oh man, do I just look back and wish I bought everything I possibly could. A couple years ago when Tesla was under that 300, we were trading like 250 before the split. Wish I bought everything I possibly could. Tesla trading $1,136.99. Robinhood, another down day here in Robinhood. We've been seeing this over the last month. We were up at $38 a few weeks ago, and we're on new lows, $27.07 there. That Rivian stock, though, which was volatile for a little bit, we saw it all over the place, is starting to get a little bit of life in it. $118.98 there. VIX, no surprise here. VIX spikes over 20. Not a surprise after Friday. We're holding up here. We released a little bit here today. We opened up about 24.5, 25, trading 22.35 right now. So one last thing, let's take a look at our economic calendar here for this week, and we'll get on out. Don't forget, tomorrow is the last day of the month of November, and we're rolling into the last month of the year. So tomorrow we've got Chicago PMI 8:45 a.m. Central Time and consumer confidence at 9 a.m. Central Time. But the big one will be at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Jerome Powell will be speaking. I wonder what he's going to talk. Is inflation going to be on the docket? I would imagine so. Fears of the new COVID variant going to be on the docket? I imagine so. Throughout the rest of the week, ISM manufacturing on Wednesday, along with crude per usual. Jobless claims per usual on Thursday. But Friday, the big one, jobless claims, employment numbers, job numbers are coming out. Non-farm unemployment, so we'll want to pay attention to that one on Friday. And that'll round us out for the week. So I appreciate you guys all joining me here today. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:45 a.m. Central Time with the market forecast. So until then, stay safe, wash your hands, trade smart, and trade well. Look forward to seeing you guys in the markets. Take care, everybody.